the term. Now, moving forward, cricket, of course, one sporting court, Sangasho would see they are very active. They were now hosting a women's, day, should I say, maybe weekend to try and teach different women from all the parts of the country, different basics of the sport. You look at how the attendance was and how is the reaction of the association. Talk about the pool league. It has also continued. The special moments we'll be looking at over the weekend that also took place. Moving forward, we'll also look at the Eswatini Rural Insurance Corporation under golf. It has resumed first in 2021, and of course Raymond Matonsi clinching the tournament as the pro winner of the weekend. We'll look at that, and when is the next one is expected, as they have already announced that by the end of this month they will be cruising at Ngonyin. Otherwise, internationally, things have happened, and some of the things maybe had said the same story in the past. There is the issue of European Super Cup. Do these huge so-called big clubs in the Europe have the right decision to call themselves big and organize a tournament? You look at that, and it has also come a time where one of the well-known faces in the football industry as a coach, Jose Mourinho, has been sacked. All that in the next hour, I will be in the company of Linda Tamin, on a special day like this. There's a lot we can talk about this day. There's a lot we've said, and we've also said between each other to say what we've seen in terms of improvement, what we've seen in terms of growth. Now Kulmangema Sports Lagangwan, all because of the presence of His Majesty.
Fabrice, ngiyabonga leli thuba lokukhulu ngivusele ema-loyal viewers ngiyakuthuba lokukhulu ke ngifisele imbubo yemhlaba linolelo ludze. Njoba usho ke Fabrice ukuthi imbubo yemhlaba siyati ukuthi involvement yakhe kuma sports because bantu incumbi ngibaye bacabanga ukuthi ibhola kuphela. In fact ukhuluma ngegaluva siyati ukuthi kune Kings golf tournament liba khona unfortunately ngenza abantu abo covid site leyo tournament leyo bekungile nje ama additions lebeyikhona
the Kings Cup as well.
The Kings Cup, yes, golf cup lebeyikhona ezulwini about 3 years ago ngiyole. So ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice umsebenzi wenyama ngeke uzucetse lewendile kuma sports njoba sengishilo ukuthi ligaluva ukhuluma ngemarathon. Imbubo marathon ibe khona siyibonile successfully yaba khona, and Fabrice ngicabanga kule mbubo marathon nawungathi uyalenzelisisa kahle bekuthi nabacetha kugijima labam leti ngijima bese sekiwa lapha kaSomhlolo sekuyendiwe ama aerobics, and ngicabanga ukuthi the icing on the cake ukuthi imbubo yemhlaba iyahamba kube ngiyo le hola lama aerobics lama aerobics kuba kuhle kakhulu. Ngicabanga ukuthi vele sekwaba la special kakhulu Fabrice nakukhuluma ngemarathon wedlule ke Fabrice ute mhlambe ebholeni ngiyakhumbula ukuthi kuba ne Kings Cup kweta Kaizer Chiefs kweta Orlando Pirates badlala no Royal Leopard neMbabane Swallows kwaba mnanzi. Luckily yasala futhi leyo ngomishi lakhaya kwasese kuta Ingwenyama Cup. Ngicabanga ukuthi ke lapho le tournament nje special kakhulu kunawo onke ukhuluma ukuthi ama-regional teams ayathola lithuba lekuthi nakawinile ahambe ayohlomeliswa athole lokho lakutholako bese sokuthi the senior teams the senior elite teams kuba nawo yathola atholele. Ngicabanga ukuthi kuhle kakhulu Fabrice njengoba ngishilo ukuthi umsebenzi weNgwenyama awucedwa ngakhuluma kuze
From what I'm seeing on the screen, Master, I want to believe this is some of the finals we've seen, best finals of the Ngwenyama Cup. In fact, this is the 2019 edition. Eswatini Telecom charity. Now Buga in the past, Master, and I think this is the time, around this time, towards the April, March, during the previous years, towards the end of March. These are the days where we used to have the finals of the Ngwenyama Cup, and the hype and then the improvement. I think now ungathola ithuba nje uxoxela abadlali bafana nabo Tony Tsabetse, every moment Swallows beyiphakamisana ngomishi, they knew ukuthi that moment would be there just to stand next to His Majesty. And I think we've seen a good standard of football, we've seen the improvement, especially in finals, and then his presence also has been always something key. We would say internationally, we've seen a tournament like Ngwenyama Cup. Now, when you used to see how internationally people will be asking you who is playing in the final, who is playing in the final because of the tournament. Now, we once talked about a small issue, Master, where we say maybe it's high time, and then we also start looking at what he once said. I think it was 2018 during Ngwenyama Cup press presentation, to say it is in his dreams to see Sihlang once, at some point playing internationally in the AFCON, in the World Cup. And then I think having noted that early as 2018, and then we're talking about 2021, this is 3 years. So the work must be starting to be done to make sure that we make him proud from what he has stated. As we can see, of course, making sure that culture and football are joined together. Something with some of the special guests like former President Jacob Zuma, they couldn't also miss the occasion.
Yeah, Fabrice, ngicabanga ukuthi sibuka nje njoba ngishilo ukuthi Ingwenyama Cup special kanganani. Ingwenyama Cup lalela Ingwenyama Cup. So leligama lona. In 2019 ngathola a call from Ivory Coast ku Mamadou, one of my top journalists in Africa.
Yes.
He said, my friend, we are so lucky to be born in Eswatini, to have ingosi lefana nale nayo nine. Ngicabanga ukuthi le tournament yona especially kakhulu yehlukile emhlaba wonke. Imagine he was in Ivory Coast alandzela konke lobekwenteka ku Ngwenyama Cup. So ungabona ukuthi especially kanganani tinvo leto lengicabanga ukuthi as emaswati lekumele ukuthi sibe grateful because ngicabanga ukuthi kuphila kulesikhathi lesi dine ngiletungu lesibonile isitukulwane lesengcile asikati bona ukuthi ihlanganiswe iculture ihlanganiswe nebhola. So ngicabanga nje ukuthi singaphinza sisho sithi halala mbube emaswati nilwelo noluthe bayethe wena waphakathi.
They have it. We take once again this moment to wish His Majesty King Mswati III a happy birthday. A beautiful day once it did to you, Your Majesty. Now, moving on, Master, to the sporting activities that took place over the weekend. Cycling as a sport, they were one of the sporting courses that was given a green light, Master, activities. Now, AGM, the annual general meeting, the much anticipated elections couldn't take place. Master, I would say you and I, Mhlambe, were shocked. This is one of the clubs that were part of the meeting, Ever Cycling Club team. We know cycling as a sporting court. Singasho ukuthi igule lizinga labo tennis nabo galuva laba khona kulandzela tinvo every time. But hearing a association like this, Master, couldn't hold an effective election. How disappointed were you, Master?
Fabrice, I was very, very disappointed in AGM yayo cycling association lebekhona over the past weekend. In fact, ngizame kuyi-break down. Kuthi kube ne-AGM yaka cycling egalobamba lebeyikhona. Part of le AGM ke Fabrice agenda bekuthi kumele kukhethwe president lomusha. But ke lokufike kwathusa ema teams lamanengi aka cycling on the day kuthi kule AGM le agenda yekuthi kumele kukhethwe president bebangatshelwa bona. Bebangadi ukuthi kumele befike kule AGM banominatile. Ngicabanga ukuthi lokho kube wrong kakhulu. And number 2, lokhu bese sekumakalisa kakhulu ukuthi vele linye le team legcine ikhona kunominator kuthi nganominator president yakhokha emagama lamabili loku William Tiger Kelly na William Kelly. So lalamanye ke ma teams aba nembuto aba consent.
Those are the names you mentioned.
William Tiger Kelly na William Kelly from one team lalamanye ama teams abe concerned ukuthi why batshelwe ngalelanga lale AGM ukuthi kumele ba nominate umuntu lotawukhethwa noma lotawumelela kuba ngipresident kani le constitution ke Fabrice ayivumi lokuthi lalamanye ama teams anga nominate waseseke lokhona office long president wayo i cycling association lokungoslam Klabathi ubese uzama kulandzela ke imithetho sisekelo wayo le association lokhuluma vele ukuthi angeke vele kuze ku basidinenge letinto Fabrice lingicaba ukuthi naye president kumele tihambe kahle because bekuthiwe kutaba nelikhetho but lelikhetho bekude lomvu lo neutral bekatela conduct so ngicabanga ukuthi idinvo leto lekumele ukuthi at the moment utawubamba kuba president because utawubamba kuba president until mhla ka 1 May yes mhla ka 1 May then kuyabuyelwa ke Fabrice ngani ama teams atabasawa khokhile ama nominees abo kanje kokhetho
nginama concerns lamancane master and I think before maybe I raise my concerns ndacela silalele few people and these are some of the well-known faces in the cycling industry in the country. You talk about a person like Gideon Tembo, M10 Kemani. You talk about someone like Clinton McNamara from Ever Cycling Club. You talk about someone like Musimotsa from Newcomb Wheels. Those are well-known faces in the cycling club. They will be then followed by the president. They were not happy with what happened, what Just Master said. Listen to them, then we get back to you.
We are disappointed. The whole constitutional matter shows that our constitution needs a lot of review. And as clubs, we also, and members, we need to be open to open discussion. There's nothing hidden here. I think we're wanting the betterment for cycling, and I believe that our executive has made the right call because of the information they have. But unfortunately, we wish this wouldn't have wasted our time. That's my personal statement, and I believe that on the 14th, if everyone's involvement is included, then we should be in the right track. There are more than just the 5 clubs that are represented here. There are about 8 or 9 clubs in Swaziland, and those other people need to get involved as well. And all the clubs need to follow the constitution by forwarding their nominations, and that's where we are.
No, the setback actually it's that the elections could not be concluded, and I think the major problem is within the constitution. That's number one. Number two, the other problem is that you have few clubs, and this is the cycling is very, very thin. And the requirement that is being emphasized cannot comply with that thinness of human resources.
To be very honest with you, I'm disappointed. We thought today we are going forward. However, due to whatever that happened, we set a right back, and we want to work. There was people who are capable and willing to take the sport forward, but nyalo kune delay. Frankly, I don't even understand what is stopping the process, the progress. Now. So I just hope 14 days something will happen. The sport is now let's say
kubonakala ngathi lokuningi lokushintsha on the last minute kuhambisana nale constitution mhlawumbe ngaba usichazela ukuthi lokuthi mhlawumbe lamalunga akakhona kuyi-interpreta the same way the constitution noma
actually to be honest with you, I take it bekufanele ukuthi as members sibe educated on that process yalamuhla thina nje sathi namuhla it's one person per team lokho ngicabanga into lefanele ngabe yaba satiswa much earlier stokuthi kulungiselela sonke so ngikho lento sekuyona yonke lento nyaka.
Okay, siyabonga.
Firstly sivumelene ma team principals ukuthi how sidawa ngenanje ama elections savumelana ukuthi lamuhla asimdingi electoral officer because of my positions were positions elect in Temidlalo, so there was only one position that ngakukhetho. Phindze constitution yethu iyavuma ukuthi president is neutral, president uyawakhulumisa ama-issues ema-elections. So ngaloko sibone ukuthi kufanele ukuthi before sende anything president ufanele achaze umthetho wokukhetha ukuthi uyini kanjani. Kodwa-ke la mhlathini asikafiki ebukhetheni, asikafiki position ukuthi sesiyakhetha sikhetha abantu sekuyavotwa. Kube sesikhiphe ekufesini ukutavota bese sitawukhona umuntu betawufika kahle sibalele ama-votes, otherwise ukukhetha lamuhla akukendeki. Yes, kube nema-nominations kwaba nema-positions elect, so sibantu laba la savele automatically kuyabavumela ukuthi bangileyo position. Asikafiki, ngicela ukuclarify nje ukuthi i-electoral officer abekasengadingeki ngoba asikafiki lapho kusesikhetha khona.
Yeah, drama at its end, master. Ngiyamuva sihlangana batsakhuluma la egcineni ukuthi i-constitution iyamvumela ukuthi as president who when master, because during the meeting before they get to the elections, I want to say this for those who are not there, he kept on saying, you remember, he kept on saying, I'm still president for the next minutes before we get to the elections. So he still controls the room. Two, I understand the constitution allows him, master, because he can keep standing in. But now, isn't it why maybe they are complaining that it should be changed? It is indeed something that is known worldwide that whenever there's elections, should be an electoral officer law neutral. Longa association. Three master bekunetingulumo ema corridors after the whole chaos. Good see, the issue is that even the people were nominated by the club, likes of William Tiger Kelly, they don't have background information on cycling. That's why some of the people saying, because some were even suggesting that William Tiger Kelly is so well known for shooting association. What is he doing at cycling? So those are some of the politics. So master, what's your take now? Is the sport moving forward with what we just heard from them?
Kwecala Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi le association lo mthetho wesisekelo constitution yayo vele baningi lalaba evangathi yaba confuse because now ukhuluma ukuthi uthi president uyamvumela umthetho wesisekelo ukuthi conductor lama elections, which is wrong. Ngicabanga ukuthi kumele bawushintshe bona bay association lama teams kumele ahlangane ayishintshele, because what if a nominate aphinzina conduct leo elections kan unominatiwe nalo mumvu lotawu conductor lama elections uthi he's just a phone call away, utawushayelwa nguye. So ngicabanga ukuthi kude le fairness lapho Fabrice kudinga ukuthi bahlale phansi the teams before kuyiwe kuma elections bekudinga ukuthi lo mthetho sisekelo umanu amendwe, because mina nje ngibona i-disaster after lo 14 days lokungumhla ka 1 May ngicabanga ukuthi kutaba netinkinga because batasuke bamnominate yena president again kani lolukhetho uthi yena uyamvumela umthetho wesisekelo ukuthi alichube. So ngicabanga ukuthi idinvo leto lekumele ukuthi i-cycling association the teams are there
mase maybe usangakachube ngicese ukujuba khona le point before we move on. We need to move on. There's a point raised by Mbuso Motsa, I think the second speaker. He said what confused him ukuthi sichelelwa ini on the day of the elections. So in other words, my own interpretation, wasn't it done deliberately vele ukuthi kungabe khona ama elections? Maybe it can be interpreted that way. If you don't let me know, it's because you know ukuthi sitawufika mbisishayisa ngithi.
It's so unfortunate Fabrice ukuthi sport in some of associations sichutshelwa ku benefit than i-progress le sport. Ngidawushiya lapho bese sengithi ukhuluma mhlambe ngalama nominees labeka nominatiwe Tiger siyamati ka shooting association ube khona ngicabanga ukuthi umuntu if akhona lama leadership qualities
singabuke ukuthi sport ini
uyabona simbonile enhlanhla maphanga ku basketball akhona but is a former goalkeeper simbonile
basketball
is successful iwathola ama sponsors. So ngicabanga ukuthi simbonile Bheka Nxumalo ka swimming angena is a former football player. So ngicabanga ukuthi if the right person nominatiwe lama clubs atamethemba akangene ayihole nakhona nabangasiko happy sitawufika itheme yakhe ukuthi isikhathi sakhe ukuthi aphume office bafake lo munye.
they have it. And of course, like Mr. Tamin highlighted, on the 1st of May, that is after 14 days from Saturday to driving to 1st of May, they're going to resume again and see if they can, hold those elections. However, within this period, which means up to next Saturday, this coming Saturday, they should forward their nominations, which means by the time we come on Monday, we should have nominations already, new nominations by the clubs. Then drive to the 1st of May, then we should expect a good elections without interruptions. Otherwise, Setlang Shabat is the acting president of the Cycling Association as per the constitution, since things couldn't take place. Now, moving on, cricket is one other sporting code that was active over the weekend. Master, when it comes to sport, cricket, look at the numbers, compliance and everything. These young ladies are at Malkens to play, most of them to play golf for the very first time. But often my basics. They were not ready, they are coming to learn for the first time. So Master, what does it tell you about the sport? Is it maybe something that we can start building on to say there could be success with cricket?
Yeah, Fabrice Ngabansi dinvoletile titsingekako because uyabona ukuthi some of them are young lekutsinga vele ukuthi letikolweni inakhuzo kakhulu ifundzwa kakhulu icricket kuthola lama basics ngemgcibelo nje bebathola wona ama basics aka cricket wona bosisi bethu lengicabanga ukuthi vele uqala lama basics uthole uyamfundisa lo muntu how to catch because nangabe ufuna kuthola i-wicket seyishayile i-batsman how to catch, how to field ufield kanjani lenakhuza yakho le nalama runs wa avoid kanjani ukuthi angabe ngi4 angabe ngi2 angabe ngi3 angabe ngi4 uyabona ngilama basics laba bafundisa wona. So ngicabanga ukuthi leti info leti if nje president wakhona ukhulumile ukuthi uya kakhulu etikolweni lapho khona batawuthola labo head teacher babafundisa. So ngicabanga ukuthi lalabancane yes nalabadala because uyababona ukuthi they are willing to learn le passion ikhona ikufuna kufundza le sport. Ngicabanga ukuthi batasheshe basibambe siyafuna kubona nathi siyabafuna Boperi one of the best female cricketer for the past 10 years was Australia. Lengicabanga ukuthi wonke umuntu odlala icricket lo wesimake lo ngumake ubonelela kuye utawufuna kuba njengaye role model. So ngicabanga ukuthi kucala lapha grassroots ukuthi ubakhulisa kanjani labancane letulu sisuke sesizama nje sesigwamanza ngalo kusevele phela asikho professional but awuzama bayibambe, otherwise sicala grassroots.
A mixture, of course, of those who have few days in the sport and those who are already here for the first time to train and try to get the sport. Now, a couple of interviews, of course, we did over the weekend with some of the players. Some of them, of course, have got few days in the sport. And, of course, they are accompanied by the president himself, Robert Ngumar. What do they want to get from these young ladies? Listen to that.
Last year, I invited a friend of mine who was part of cricket since high school. Yes, I think I've had 4 games. Also. Which is good for health and I get to know more people and the interaction. On a Saturday, I could be in the house and daily, but exercise, it's beneficial.
Nasibuka narokunye mebisa ngakubuta ukuthi usadlala umdlalo ucazile ukuthi udlale for ama games ufise kufika aphi nalo mdlalo yini lofisa ku achieve ngalo mdlalo
ngifisile ukuthi singagcinela kangwane but sikhona hlanganyela nalamanye emave maybe bo South Africa amave lathutane singagcini nalapho sichubeke siyamaveni lakhashane overseas sidlale nalabanye basadi as Kingdom of Eswatini.
ngicangise ngina 5 years ngaqala ka form 5 St Marks.
Nawubuka nje la ukhona kwanyalo ufisa kufika phi what's your special position kule mdlalo?
I'm a bowler and ngajabula kakhulu nje ukuthi kube nema leagues lamanengi where we win more trophies. I'd like to be bowler of the match someday. Yes.
Nawubuka lo mdlalo wena ufisa kufika phi level yakho for the future?
For the future, I'd like to play in my countries. I'd really love to see that happen. Yes.
Kulani Masego and Mkwana is also expressing. The two of them, of course, have got few days in the sport master. They are the leading in the others. Master, you see the excitement of the face. One is she's expressing that she wants to be a bowler, and she is already in the process of being a bowler. Master, is it a time where we're saying maybe let your child choose for herself or for himself? They want to be best cricket players, and they should be given a platform.
Yeah, they should be given a platform, Fabrice, to play cricket. Zagithi Mkhwana uyakhuluma ukuthi ukuthi Dimvela tifunzile Kulani Masego, she's young, but already uyamova ukuthi uhlosene, and I'm very very happy ke Fabrice ukuthi uyade ukuthi ufise ukuthi adlale yipi part yipi role la ka cricket, uthi ufuna kuba ibowler, lomnye umuntu uyathi uyodlala cricket angade ukuthi uyodlala ini, nabambuta ukuthi ufuna kuba yini, akade nalokuthi kuba ibowler ukuthi yini, akade nalokuthi kuba batsman ukuthi yini, so ngicabanga ukuthi
no understanding lama terms.
Now once understand lama terms ale sport, ngicabanga ukuthi usuke so ready ukuthi ungazidlala. Yes, labanye bakhona ukuthi bayibambe etulo, but ngicabanga ukuthi now usuke ekhaya uthi uhanjiswa ipassion, usuke so sad le sport, because I want to believe ukuthi usuke usibukela wabukela nalelo live, but ngicabanga nje ukuthi I'm happy ukuthi president ukhulumile ngentinza abantu asesikolweni ukuthi bo head teacher, but ke Fabrice, here's the thing, sikhuluma ukuthi kumele develop women cricketers in the country, but all the coaches at level 1, all the coaches aka cricket at level 1.
It's in ICC funa level what?
ICC Fabrice ifuna level 4 kuthi gcine bonke labo coach, incumbi labo coach la Eswatini, even nakule region baku level 4, but at the moment Fabrice siku level 1 incumbi yabo. So ngicabanga ukuthi Dimvela association lekumele ukuthi ayiwa conduct la ngoma courses afike, if kubitwa ukuthi kufike mhlambe lawo mazum sessions la qhamuka khona ICC aba applyele bathole leyo nakuzala. So ngicabanga ukuthi once kwaqala kwafundiswa labo coach, then batawudla lokungeko la labo sisi labafuna ukufunda le sport.
Now, Cricket Association is still, of course, on the course to grow the sport with the struggles around the coaches, where they're still working on improving the standard of the coaches. Now, currently on level 1, heading to level 4. You've seen beautiful pictures, of course, of the young ladies, wanting to be the best cricket players in the future. Now, pool as a sport is another sporting code that was active over the weekend. I would say there is a sport, one would say they don't have a problem so far when you talk about in terms of facilities. What they need, it's a place to gather, and they need time. And they did that over the weekend. The likes of Reps Master and Dr. see the captain, of course, first. Then we come and look at some of the games and the table. How are they currently standing? Knowing the two teams so far are fighting for the title. One would say 2 or 3, but the dominant one is Correctional and Reps from the police services. Listen to the captain from police services.
Sikhanza le competition isetulu kakhulu than the previous seasons. Lokho kukhomba kona ukuthi umdlalo wethu sowuthuthukile, ema teams akaphakamisile ema standards. But siyayithanda i-challenge si-Reps full team. So kuba ne competition between the two teams kusinika umdlandla nathi to even up our game sisachubeka sisadlala lama games siwaqedele. There's always a rivalry emidlalweni yonke lekhona. Yethu is a healthy one. We are brothers outside the game, but when it comes to the game itself sesidlala, yeah, we fight ngoba wonke umuntu ufuna ama point, ufuna kuwina. Right now sibambene ngama point nayo i-Correctional. Lokushoko nako ukuthi i-rival yethu vele iyabonakala nje ematafuleni nabo nabawina nathi siyawina vice versa. Umdlalo sahamba kahle kakhulu ngekhathi it's a tough game njengoba usawubona usaqhubeka but siyathi ukuthi egcineni kwako konke sifuna i-win which is what we are gunning for as full team. Siyabonga nje nalokuthi even the venue owners have been able to provide us with all the COVID related activities noma into lesingatisebenzisa kuze sitifike sisadlala otherwise lo mdlalo usezingeni lelisetulu njengoba nawo utibonela.
Dutch Masebula, of course, the Royal Eswatini Police Services Pool Club Vice Captain Master, a lot of consistency in forces. Now kulma kutsika pool na ikona club yakhona wakhuluma kuma athletics nawo boswazi board bakhona bacamke emaphoyiseni ukhuluma volleyball siyathi nakhuluma volleyball correctional UEDF na reps bayadominate ukhuluma ibhola ikhona Royal Leopards yale consistency kwenziwa yini ukuthi sibebethe imbaba neSwallows Pool Club sengiyabekisa mase ngisho ukuthi mhlawumbe ku wrong ukuthi bethe but ngiyabekisa ukuthi why can't we have what the forces are doing? Because if you are to follow, they are dominating in the pool as well. If you are to follow, they are dominating athletics, they are dominating bowling. When they can master, what are they doing? Other association, other organization are not doing.
Fabrice ngicaba ukuthi the ukhuluma nge-team ukhuluma nge-football team the other teams are football teams. But now ukhuluma nge-correctional ngicabanga ukuthi sesambulela salama sports lamanye it's unlike lapho khona unabo Real Madrid club lapho khona kutaba ne-football team kube ne-volleyball team kube tinvelete kanjalo ngicabanga ukuthi even in England uthola ukuthi ama teams like bo Arsenal kunalama teams lala ngaphasi like
nabomake all those things
nabomake ngekuhlukahlukana kwabo but laki ngicabanga ukuthi we focus only because financially angeke sikhona mhlambe kirana letinye tinvokane mhlambe lalabanye bona mhlambe bayakhona lokuthi bakirane lalamaye ama teams ukhuluma ngabo correctional but ngicabanga ukuthi la ipool Fabrice Dodge ngicabanga ukuthi involve yakha le rivalry between these two teams now buka ukuthi Dodge for a very long time a national team a dominator one of the stars for the past 8-9 years 10 years yena Dodge nangala correctional their captain flag naye star so ngicabanga ukuthi le rivalry icala lapho ukuthi unema stars nami nginema stars so vele we want to dominate in fact before le weekend nje bede babambene correctional nayo ireps 50 points kani ireps bekumele idlale ema catch up games ibe na 2 nge weekend idlale 2 yakhona ukuthi imidlalo lo 2 iwine i correctional unfortunately noma ngathi fortunately because siyafuna kuyibona le league i competitive
khala surprise master mhlawumbe nga correctional against way in
ngicabanga way in ngeke ngasho Fabrice
it's the third team actually I was saying apart from reps and correctional way in is the only team singasho ukuthi ingaba surprise abantu
in fact ngeke ngasho about 3 or 4 times ukuthi watch out kuwe in because nabo bamada courses baqhamuka kancane ngemuva and nge weekend 13-6 bashaya correctional ngicabanga ukuthi that's the biggest win yange weekend for reps they were playing against Masters yes Masters be leader but reps were able to make a comeback ngicabanga ukuthi njoba ngisho ukuthi experience ngakule team yama reps iyathi khulumela bakhona ukuthi bagcine banqobile.
Beautiful stuff, Master. Another thing, maybe Singapore, we look at the table, but at this point in time, Master, when we started the season, I think we talked about a correctional being given a mandate by their bosses. At this point in time, Master, Sabuga, some of the highlights of the weekend activities, clubs, of course, in their dress codes, well, protocol observed and everything, beautiful performance there. When at this point in time, through your judgment, Master, ungaininga ba nengomish?
It's tough, but after the performance correctional against way in and in the 2 games ireps lemdlalile nge weekend yawina that come back against Masters I give it to Reps.
You give it to the reps.
Yes.
So correctional do not stand a chance at this point in time.
No, they banayi chance. But ngicabanga ukuthi labangetulu kancane ngiwo Reps at the moment nje mine nginganika bona le title bakhombisa consistency throughout the season. Yes, ne correctional icale kahle kakhulu. Take nothing away from yona I correctional Reps they are leading yona I log bana 56 points correctionally 54. So ngicabanga ukuthi ne Reps I correctional sorry ingayendi come back. So but at the end of the day nginika yona I Reps.
The league is concluded after 26 games. So far we've had 17 master.
Yeah.
9 games to go. One would say maybe Master Socha winning Reps. Would it be too early? Nangbuga way in, sits in 0 way in, 5 points behind log leader Reps. So anything can change.
They are the dark horses.
Yes.
But Reps seba provile kuba consistent. Ngicabanga ukuthi if batawuhamba ngale pace lena in fact nabangete badliwa igame kusuka nyalo I-correctional le game yawo ne away in ngeke bahlale bangayikhumbuli.
Beautiful stuff. Look at the likes of Figueiredo, France, and of course they are also in the top 6. We keep a close eye, of course, to what's happening to the pool league and see what happens till the last minute of the tournament to see who goes away with the title. Now, moving on, golf, another sporting code that was active over the weekend. Now, their first Eswatini Insurance Corporation for 2021. Now, this is one of the part that didn't finish, that was not finished in 2020. They were supposed to play it about 5 to 6 phases, but they only couldn't finish all of them due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. So one of the phases had to be played now in April when sports activities were resumed, and is the first Royal Insurance Corporation golf tournament in this 2021 year. And at Eswatini Spa, Royal Swazi Spa Master singasho ukuthi even though the golf players did not get enough time to practice and do other things, they look fit and ready for the challenge. Now buga the likes of Meshak Zwane, badlala bafana nabo Raymond Matonsi on the day it was active. Master, take us to what was the impression?
Fabrice ngeweekend iqhubeke yona pro golf ngicabanga ukuthi ifaka ekhathi ema pro golfers the professional golfers ifake ekhathi amateur golfers the youngsters also letafaka ekhathi bothando letafaka ekhathi boqiniso bese sikhuluma ngama pros ukhulume ngabo bomatonsi and the
for 22 years as a professional golfer
nakhona lapho ukhuluma ngeconsistency for 22 years soludlala igolf. So ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice ichubekile yadlala kahle I-competition beyikhona even though bekuyi competition le pro bekuyecala this year, but ngicabanga ukuthi akubonakali sihlale sikhuluma ngayo igolf every day. Ngicabanga ukuthi nabo le dedication labayifaka ko lapho. Even the youngsters, I'm happy because now ukhuluma ngabothando ukhuluma ngaboqiniso ukhuluma ngama youngsters nabomfundo badlala ukudinga ukuthi bakhombise leyo passion ngala eGalvin. Uyabona ukuthi leso sikhashana lesincane labasitholako baya practice because golf it's all about practice.
Now, having of course played a beautiful tournament over the weekend, Raymond Matonsi highlighted what was his secret over the weekend to become the champion, and he's highlighting that it is not the first time he wins such a tournament. This is Matonsi speaking after lifting the 2021 first edition of the Royal Insurance Corporation.
Kuba number 1 namhla kubali kufuna kube number 1 nekusasa. So kwanyalo ngisabala nje ukuthi ngimlo sembidlana kodwa ke ngidawujabula nangingaba number 1 nekusasa.
Yes. Yes. Hey. Angisitwe ku just hard work and the experience. I've been a pro since 1999. So ngiminyalo sengivele ngathi ukuthi nangiyodlala angibe silo ngicabanga lokuningi ngiyadlungiselela ngivele ngihambe ngiyodlala.
Nasibuka ulesikhathi nje udlala ezingeni leseturu phecelezi kuba pro singasho ukuthi mhlawumbe nje yini le singaveta ukuthi le ikhona inkinga la kangwane ukuthi sibe bede bo pro labaningi yini le nkinga lesibane nayo kwanyalo la kangwane.
Inkinga lenkulu i-development. I-development yethu akusiyo lesezingeni lesetulu. Ikhona yona kodwa akusiyo lesezingeni lesetulu. Lama amateurs athola ukuthi lo lwati lekalitholako alisilo lolisezingeni lesetulu. Ngo uthola ukuthi noma ngabe sekukhona lophumile la wayosimelela ukhanza ukuthi akakhoni ukukhompyutha kahle nalabantu especially base South Africa. So ngicabanga ukuthi singase sikhone ukuthi kufakwe a bit of finance imali kutholakale bantu labanalo lwati lokutrainer labantwana ukuze nabo batofika kulesigaba lesiphose sibonakala ukuthi badlala igolf lesezingeni lesetulu.
Next week towards the month end utabusengwenyeni target ubuke ukuthi utawuphinza uphakamisele ngomsho.
Ngifuna kubona lo tawuta process khali ukuthi utawugwaza ngakuphi. So kahle i-challenge yami ukuthi ngoba labaningi bawo bancane kunami lengidlala cishe bonke bancane kunami ngicabanga. So i-challenge ukuthi asesebadle mina ekucala bangakaze bayatawuphumela ngaphandle bawodlala abanye abantu.
For 22 years, he's been now a professional golfer. He turned pro at the age of 25. That was 1999. He's 47 as we speak, Master. His achievement. Now I would see him winning today. This past weekend, he was defending having won it in Babane. So what are we saying, Master, in terms of Labancane? What do they need to do as we look at the results and some of the things that took place over the weekend?
Kuba dedicated emsebentini wakho wathi ukuthi ufiseni. So ngicabanga ukuthi kudlala yona golf for 22 years. Ngicabanga ukuthi kukutshela something Fabrice. In fact, it is the first time kwendeka ukuthi angadefender itrophy iwin embabane bese so iwina ezulwini. The first time kwendeka ubona njengoba sibona ukuthi yena Raymond Mathonsi ugcine akusewa ke ma point lawa fab ma strokes those are strokes la strokes nangabe ma strokes ahamba kanje nangabe it's a par 4 or par 3 since it's par 3 shows the number of strokes ngilo shaya now ishaya le bola before ingena emgotsini uhambe ka 3 shows it that par 3 hence lama strokes. So ngicabanga ukuthi nawubuka Raymond Oscar Dube Meshak Zwane Thulani Mkhaliphi Jabulani Mabaso badlali laba belikaluva mbamba but for Mathonsi ngicabanga ukuthi ukhombisa at age 47 kunebamvu labafike mhlawumbe bo2010 bayidlala le golf part time but bagathe ama results lamanye ama sports awadlala part time kutsinga ukuthi impilo yakho yonke uyathi ukuthi every weekend ngizamba mana uphuma emsebenzini uyahamba uyo trainer weekend uyadlala every day so ngicabanga ukuthi practice ngiyo letsinga kakhulu Calvin. That's why nje ngithi lama youngsters kudinga ukuthi kube netimvo latikopako from the likes of Bomatons.
Nangibuka master what I saw over the weekend, and of course I know they didn't get much time. It's maybe one would say they are from a long break, but the dedication, like you said, at some point we've said golf is one of the sport king courts in terms of lama sponsors bayakhona at least bona kuba attract, but now at this point in time the professionals still feel like more sponsors are needed. Now move mathonsi utsinzi inzabe ukuthi kuze kuthi labadlali abancane abakhona kuma amateurs bakhulu ma sponsors ayadzingeka. How important it is, master, to ensure that these young players, the so-called amateurs, get to the level where Bomatons are, and we don't want also only them to get there. We want them to get there and win the trophies internationally and locally.
Imagine Fabrice kune tournament le sponsored mhlambe lena 5 million kuthi niyodlalela 5 million lapho kuthi banganani bamvula bangaya in fact cishe bonke bangafuna kuba associated bangafuna kudlala le igalova and bangafuna compete. Ngicabanga ukuthi ingaba competitive ingas benefit nga attractor even nema golfers la chamuka ngaphandle because bataya bafuna le mali. So ngicabanga ukuthi if njoba asho mathonsi ukuthi if sponsorship mhlambe leti mali tingakhula even more sponsors angeni khona la kungayiwa khona.
And also, of course, in terms of exploring facilities and knowing where they're heading, and of course, the Royal Insurance Corporation tournament continues towards this month, the end of April. Of course, they'll be heading to Ngwenyeni Golf Course, and all the big guns, including the likes, of course, of Raymond Matonsi, will be at Ngwenyeni Golf Course. As you heard him, he's looking to see who will be able to challenge him to his, title as the champion. He's the defending champion. He feels like he should keep reigning and he should keep holding that title. Now, for local content, of course, we've cut across and we've touched on almost everything that you wanted to find out that took place over the weekend. In the remaining few minutes we have, Master, I want us to just maybe take another page internationally and look at some of the things currently that are making headlines, including the issue, two issues. There's the issue of Mourinho being fired, and mostly we'll start with the issue of European Super Cup, Master. 12 teams have joined themselves together. They've now started a process of establishing a European Super Cup. I think where the problem is, it's out there on social media. Where the problem is, why is UEFA and FIFA against this European Super Cup?
Fabrice le Super League le sungulwe lama 12 teams lokufaka khathi Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Juventus, Tottenham,
Madrid.
Yes, those teams they are big teams. They have history. So nangabata uhamba because nangabe bajoina le Super League uchosi but in their domestic leagues but awukhwesha, for example nje England ngayibe khona Manchester United, ngayibe khona Arsenal, ngayibe khona Liverpool, ngayibe khona Tottenham. So if le league EPL ayitela ama teams lawo, imagine Leicester City, West Ham, Southampton competela league. So ngicabanga ukuthi ngiyo lelo lokwarisha abantu kanye,
and the fans are against that, Master.
Not every fan, because I'm a football fan. I'm for it.
In your way, yes.
Yeah. Football is money. There is man.
425 million pounds for a club that allows to join.
So ngilemvelo ngutshela yona Fabrice ukuthi ibhola imali. If lama teams lawa ataw benefita imali, imagine my team Arsenal ithola 425 million pounds bobani badlala ngento abasayina. So ngicabanga ukuthi ibhola seyibe ibusiness sikhathi lesi. In fact, Arsene Wenger wakusho lokhu 2009 wathi maybe in 10 years time sitawubona i-Super League bacabanga ukuthi that Madara is crazy, but at the moment i-Super League yaqhubeka, and in Africa's ville kuthi kungendeka igcine ifikile i-European Super League.
Now, Master, it has raised concerns. People are talking. I want to touch on this issue, Master. Because these are some of the concerns, because the ringleader of this whole thing is Real Madrid president Florentino Perez. So if you look at the club bosses, you go to City, you look at those bosses from Manchester City, they have what it takes. You look at Chelsea, there's Ibrahimovic. You look at the Americans who are in charge of Liverpool. You look at the Grazer family in charge of Manchester United. Then the question comes to say, teams like PSG, it's not status. Of course, you look at someone like Levy, Dan Levy from Tottenham Hotspur. But you look at a team like Bayern Munich. What's the problem, Master? Won't you feel yourself that maybe they should have been included? Bayern Munich and PSG. Maybe Ajax
in fact, Fabrice, these are founding members. Lama teams atawungeteka. Surely atawungeteka because of le mali. But at the moment, UEFA UEFA Champions League iselena 4 teams, iselena Manchester City, ne Real Madrid, ne Chelsea, ne PSG. Itsitela langenile ku European Super League. Itawabenisha. In fact, kusasa ngendeka asivuke sibawabenishile. Lokusho ukuthi itawusala iPSG kuphela. Ngendeka iPSG ibe ma champions UEFA Champions League 2020-2021. Unopposed.
Without playing.
Uyabona. So but lama teams awanenzaba because ajake the bigger carrot, because le mali njengoba ngisho ukuthi imali ngiyo lemcoka kakhulu, but for Bayern Munich and Dortmund abekho njengoba ngisho ukuthi surely batofuna ngene.
Now, lastly, on this point, of course, before we move quickly, UEFA, of course, have announced that if any team or rather any player does take part in this tournament, of course, they'll be banned. FIFA has also joined hands in saying that in 2020 World Cup Qatar, all those players, talk about Cristiano Ronaldo for Juventus, Messi for Barcelona, the likes of Cruz and Modric for Real Madrid, go to Manchester United, your cover and everyone, they will not take part, they will not be taking part of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. It's getting hot. Of course, this issue is still ongoing. As we wake up tomorrow, we have more updates. Now, while that is happening, Tottenham was cooking something early in the morning at their training ground, firing Mourinho at the age of 58. Master, what's happening to the special one? He's no more special.
Yeah, he's no more special one. It's the failing one now.
So he's called Arsene Wenger, especially
he needs to go to Arsene Wenger and apologize.
So if Nyalo Wenger can come out and say, do you feel how it feels now? What can Mourinho say?
Ngicabanga ukuthi him being Mourinho angeke azavume, but ngicabanga ukuthi ma tactics akhe asa outdated. Lamuhla Mourinho announce Tottenham Hotspur ukuthi imxoshile yena Jose Mourinho. Ngicabanga ukuthi so ne track record lembi, because waxoshwa Manchester United, waxoshwa ku Chelsea kwesibili, Madrid
ngathi yambonga,
Madrid yambonga, Chelsea nalo kwecala beyimbongile. So ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice, the only time la hamba khona ku Porto nakecisa wina iChampions League khona athaswa iChelsea. Ngicabanga ukuthi but ke kunemali la iwinile, in fact la ngayiwini le mali ekumxosha because usuke asaselelwe inyaka letsite ku contract yakhe. Le mali ifika ku 539 million imali nje la iwinile. Sorry, imali ayitholile ngekuqoshiwe. So ngicabanga ukuthi for him, yes, i-track record lembe, but financially kukhona la kugainabo.
Quite interesting, and of course beautiful stuff. And of course he was earlier on interviewed, and he did highlight that he's always in sport, requesting maybe that you would think he would take a break and go on the beach and enjoy his time. He said he's always in football. Tomorrow he might wake up as a new head coach of another team. Master, time is against us. It was a beautiful time being with you once again. What a Monday, and building up to the weekend.
Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi i-weekend dinenge letimvo leteni. In fact, in the world of sports kunengilo lokwendekile Friday cricket South Africa bedlala nePakistan again ama-Proteas aluza isafika weekend ma AGMs women cricket Jose Mourinho UEFA Super Cup. So ngicabanga ukuthi le weekend le long weekend bathi long weekend lenze ngicabanga ukuthi ihambe kahle.
There you have it. And of course, this is Eswatini TV Sports. What we do is bringing you the best and the latest news updates, be it locally, be it in the region, be it on the continent, without, of course, forgetting what's happening on the world page. Otherwise, it is time to love and leave you. But most importantly, we take once again this moment as the entire Eswatini TV Sports to wish His Majesty King Mswati III a happy birthday. Bye, we're not Pagat.